Many people who watched that debate last night thought Joe Biden came off as something of a bully who kept interrupting Paul Ryan. But that strategy may have worked. The knee-jerk reaction polls seem to have Biden winning the debate. Joining me now is Chris Wilson, a Republican pollster. I think I'm accurate here, Chris, that the immediate polls taken before, during, and after the debate said Biden won. Are you buying that?
Now, I've seen a couple of different polls. I've seen the CNBC poll that showed that Ryan won. I've seen the CNN poll that said that Ryan won. So I do think there's some mixed opinions on it. But I do think there's one thing we could probably all agree on, and it probably brings all Americans together, that after watching last night's debate, whether you support or oppose Barack Obama, one thing we're all going to do is say a prayer for his health every day, because it became painfully evident that Joe Biden does not have the temperament to become president of the United States.
Is this the heartbeat away from the presidency sort of file that you're bringing up? Because I was watching it on the split screen, and what shocked me all the way through was the antics, and I use that word advisedly, the antics of Joe Biden, the smirking, the mugging for the camera, the contemptuous laughter. I couldn't really concentrate on the issues for looking at Joe Biden, and that's a fact.
It really is the most memorable takeaway from the debate. It's not the facts that came out of it, and I do think Biden had a strong command of the facts, but as did Paul Ryan. It was the meme that'll be created today is Biden smirking is interrupting. And I got to tell you, sir, I've got two little boys. And if either of them ever acted toward another human being the way that Joe Biden acted toward Paul Ryan, I'd take away video games for a month. I mean, it was just completely unacceptable. And I don't think it's something that the Obama campaign can be excited about. But I'll tell you one other important takeaway from this is Paul Ryan spent his debate time talking about Mitt Romney. Joe Biden spent his debate time talking about Joe Biden. And that's really the key difference, because the goal of a vice presidential debate is to do no harm and to promote the guy in the top job. And it's pretty clear Joe Biden thinks he should have that top job.
All right, Chris, key question. Going into last night's debate, the Romney camp clearly had momentum. Do you think that debate last night stopped that forward momentum for the Romney camp?
No, I really don't. Let's say that the snap polls you cited earlier are exactly right, and that Joe Biden won going away. I don't concede that fact, but let's just say that it is true. If you take 1988, which is probably the best performance by a Democratic vice presidential nominee in Lloyd Bentsen, and one of the worst by Dan Quayle, George H.W. Bush still won 40 states. So the vice presidential debate is really not all that impactful to the overall trajectory of the campaign. And I really think that Paul Ryan did a good enough job and did enough of the promotion of Mitt Romney, and really Mitt Romney the person. I mean, Joe Biden admitted Mitt Romney is a good man. And I think that's really what had to come out of this debate, and Paul Ryan did exactly what he needed to do.
I just want to wait a little while to let all voters have a look at Joe Biden's antics last night and see how that settles down with a few hours to go. Chris Wilson, thanks for joining us, Chris. We'll see you again soon. Thank you, sir.
You bet. Thank you.